Central New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We start with the weather as we take a live look outside. It is an absolutely gorgeous October afternoon out there. Chelsea is standing by with more in our forecast. Hi, Chelsea.
Hey, Doreen. Yeah, we're looking at sunshine once again today and warm temperatures. Seeing some of those fall colors out looking from the Providence sky cam right now. Certainly some patchy color around the area if you're doing some leaf peeping this weekend. Temperatures today are really, really nice. We're sitting in the low 70s right now. There's a touch of mugginess outside, but for the most part, we're still very comfortable with dew points in the low 60s. Breeze out of the south today around 9 miles per hour. So that's why we're running a few degrees warmer in most locations as of your noontime update. Maybe 2 degrees warmer in the Providence area, about 4 degrees warmer in Smithfield. So not a huge jump, but a little bit of a jump from yesterday with all of that sunshine we're continuing to see through the remainder of the afternoon and early evening. Now off to our west, you can see a line of clouds and some spotty showers. That's a cold front, and that cold front is going to come through overnight. What we're looking at overnight is some clouds increasing and perhaps a few sprinkles very early tomorrow morning, likely around sunrise. From there, we clear out, but we are going to be significantly cooler for the weekend. So if you can get outside this afternoon and enjoy these 70s, it's the last day that I have 70s in the forecast for quite some time. I'll have a look at your full weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. Well, the future of the Providence Place Mall tops our news this afternoon as more people shop online. The owners of the mall are looking for ways to reinvent the space. A proposal discussed last night could transform the building into a mixed-use facility. ABC6 News reporter Natalie Norrie is live in Providence with those details. Natalie?
Hi, Doreen. With concerns that online shopping might soon take over completely, the owners of Providence Place Mall have proposed a kind of reinvention of the space to prevent it from being closed down and boarded up.
As more consumers turn to online shopping, potential changes could soon be coming to the Providence Place Mall. Thursday night, the Providence City Council was approached with a future proposal for the space that would include more workspaces, education, arts, and entertainment venues. The proposal would establish a 20-year tax treaty for the mall with annual payments of $4.5 million starting July 1st, 2028. This comes as the mall has seen a decrease in foot traffic over the past few years during the pandemic, since more people could shop from the comfort of their homes.
Since online's been happening for the past 12 years, I do more online.
I think it's about 50-50, yeah.
ABC6 asked Providence residents what they thought and what they think could help encourage business again.
What do you think should go in there to get more people back in?
A bookstore.
It'd be good to put a fitness center in. There's only one that I know of, so I mean, that would definitely bring people in.
The proposal would also put medical centers and possibly residential space in the mall as well.
I think it would be an interesting idea to combine retail with other types of places.
Other residents think it would help the city economically and create opportunities for people who live there.
And it'll just bring jobs, opposed to just keeping it empty. I think it would be definitely a good thing to keep some sort of business in there.
The proposal is now in the hands of the city's financial committee, and it's unclear at this point when they'll be meeting again to discuss it further. For now, reporting live in Providence, Natalie Norrie, ABC6 News.
All right, Natalie, thank you. Now to the crisis in Ukraine, and at a fundraiser, President Biden stressing that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is not joking when he threatens to use tactical nuclear weapons, warning of Armageddon if Russia were to launch a nuclear attack on Ukraine. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest.
In his gravest warning yet about the risk of a nuclear conflict, President Biden saying Russian President Vladimir Putin's threats to use tactical nuclear weapons pose the greatest prospect of Armageddon since President Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis. President Biden in an off-camera fundraiser saying he knows Putin well and that he is not joking when he talks about potential use of nuclear weapons or biological or chemical weapons. The White House quick to downplay Biden's remarks, saying the administration has seen no indication Russia is preparing to imminently use nuclear weapons against Ukraine. It comes as President Biden believes Putin is growing more desperate on the battlefield after a series of Ukrainian military successes in recent weeks. But as Russian troops are being forced to retreat in the south and east, new evidence of alleged war crimes are emerging. In a basement in the eastern village of Pisky-Redkivsky, Ukrainians say they were beaten and shot. Just miles away, a torture pit buried in a shallow grave where 2 bodies were found handcuffed. In Yampil, Ukrainian soldiers on the hunt for fleeing Russian troops.
A lot of weapons, they stay here. A lot of weapons.
They left behind.
Yes.
The horrors of war giving rise to hundreds of thousands of Russian men fleeing the country to avoid Putin's military draft. 2 crossing the Bering Strait, seeking asylum on a remote Alaskan island, now in the hands of U.S. federal officials.
This was a surprise to us. Who knows what's going to happen in the future if more individuals from Russia are trying to, intend to leave Russia through the Bering Straits.
Those 2 Russian nationals are now in the city of Anchorage, being screened and vetted. Diplomats at the Russian embassy in Washington say they plan to hold a phone call with them to provide any necessary assistance. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
And local leaders here in Rhode Island are reacting to recent escalations overseas and the president's comments in response. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigella spoke with Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed on what, if any, concerns we should have back home. He's in the newsroom with more on that. Yanni.
Yeah, Doreen. Well, Senator Jack Reed also downplaying those concerns about a potential nuclear response by Russian President Vladimir Putin, telling me that at this point, despite comments made by President Biden, there are no signs that Putin is contemplating any sort of nuclear attack. Now, Reed speaking to us while at an event this morning highlighting advancements in cancer research in Rhode Island. And at that event, he downplayed comments made by President Joe Biden about a nuclear Armageddon. But he did agree with the president that this is the closest we have been to a nuclear conflict since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Reed also telling me he and other senators in Washington are keeping a close tab on Putin's actions, but there should be no immediate concern at this time.
What we're doing is we're looking very carefully at the remarks that Putin is making. I don't think at this point he's taken any steps. We monitored very closely, but he's in a position where he's losing, and the fear is that he will do something not only irrational, but just catastrophic.
And these growing concerns come as Ukraine has claimed back dozens of territories recently. And Reed and other national leaders continuing to monitor different potential scenarios of a Russian response. But again, Senator Reed saying at this time that there is no sign of any nuclear action. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigella, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. 7 people displaced after a morning house fire in Pawtucket. Firefighters got the call just after 3 this morning for this house fire on Oriole Street. It took about 20 minutes for them to knock it down. The Red Cross was on scene helping 4 adults and 3 kids who can't go back inside. The home is considered a total loss because of heat, smoke, and water damage.
So we made an aggressive attack to the second floor. We had heavy fire conditions on the second floor. It took us about 20 minutes to gain control of the fire. We vented the roof to get the heat and smoke out, and there was extensive overhaul, so we had to open up a lot of walls and ceilings on the second floor to make sure that the fire is extinguished.
A fire marshal is investigating a cause. And it's going to be a little while longer before the new license plate design is on Rhode Island cars. The new 5-wave design will not be issued until January now. It was back in April that state officials revealed the winning design for the new plates, but it takes 6 months to get them delivered. Plus, there was a problem with getting the right envelopes to mail the plates. All that has been resolved. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, still assessing the damage. Florida residents in hard-hit areas returning home to see the wreckage left in the wake of Hurricane Ian. How many people are still without power as work continues. And later, the promising signs in new breast cancer data and why Rhode Island officials say it's as important as ever to put money into that key research. Back now with your national headlines and the latest on the recovery efforts following devastating Hurricane Ian. The death toll climbing to 128 people across 2 states, with Florida and North Carolina. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from Fort Myers.
It's being called the largest urban search and rescue response in Florida state history. Crews still going door to door looking for any survivors, more than a week after Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwestern Florida. On Sanibel Island, Pamela Brislin found her neighbor waiting for help after her husband died.
I went to check on the neighbor's wife, and she was alone. And they had put him on a picnic table and wrapped him up, and she was waiting and alone, so I sat with her for a few hours until the police arrived.
So far, some 90,000 structures have been searched. The leading cause of death from this powerful storm, drowning, according to officials. For those who did make it out, a long road ahead. Rita Easter helping her elderly parents whose home flooded.
We just don't have any help. Oh.
It's hard. It's hard.
Like more than 80% of Florida residents, her mom and dad did not have flood insurance. More than 100,000 still without power, most of them in hard-hit Lee County.
We have no water. We're here to take a shower. We've been going to the amenity center to get water out of the pool so we can flush our toilets.
Officials said most would have their power back by today, but for the hardest hit areas, it could be much longer. Rena Roy, ABC News, Fort Myers, Florida.
And still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, the latest invention in Bristol County, Mass, just in time for the fall season. Plus, Chelsea has a look at your full 7-day forecast, showing us lots of sunshine out there. We'll be right back. Checking local consumer news now. A local family is hoping they can get some traction with a new Halloween product. Sean Davis from Fairhaven has created the Stacko Lantern, designed to allow you to stack pumpkins on top of each other for your display. Davis and his wife Kelly met at a coffee shop in Dartmouth. They've lived in Bristol County for years. This is one of a few different products that Sean's come up with, and it was born out of a discussion with Kelly.
I was decorating my front porch in the fall of 2020. And I brought out all of these pumpkin items, and I brought out these white stacked pumpkins that are fake to put on the front steps. And my husband came out and thought that they were super cool. And he's an engineer and an inventor. And so he came up with the idea of, how can we do this for real pumpkins? And is there anything out there that we can use for real pumpkins to stack them, painted ones, jack-o'-lanterns, all of that?
Well, Kelly says Sean collaborated with the company in Texas on this Halloween product with 2 other inventors that appeared on Shark Tank. He now has a licensing deal with them to get it on the market. It's sold mostly online for now. You can find it on Amazon.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Well, a stark change over Block Island today compared to what we saw earlier this week. Actually, people walking out on the beach over by the North Light. You can see the waves are significantly lower and the wind is much calmer than what we were dealing with for a good portion of this week. Temperatures are mild. Most of us are sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s. 69 up at Harrisville right now, 72 in Smithfield, 72 in Pawtucket, 72 in Warwick, 73 in Cranston right now. Along the coastline, temps are maybe a degree or 2 cooler, some upper 60s with that breeze coming in right off the water, which those water temperatures have been cooling down. And then a little bit farther inland, temperatures are in that low 70s range. 72 for North Kingstown, 72 up in Quonset as well, 70 in Barrington right now. Through southeastern Mass, those temperatures are in the upper 60s and low 70s. Upper 60s for much of the Cape, and then low 70s for spots like Attleboro and Taunton, Brockton right now at 73 degrees. So a nice mild day across southern New England with the sunshine, with this breeze coming in from the south. The wind right now is from the south-southwest, about 5 to 15 miles per hour, and it'll stay from this direction through the remainder of the afternoon and into the evening. That being said, we have an approaching cold front. And when that cold front comes through, we're going to see the winds start to shift. The wind's going to come in more from the west to the northwest, and that's going to bring in much cooler temperatures for your long weekend. So today, we're in that mid-70s range, but tomorrow, highs will only be in the upper 50s. So get outside and enjoy the sunshine today. Enjoy the mild temperatures today. We'll see sunshine for a good portion of your upcoming weekend. It's just a lot cooler out there. It'll certainly be feeling like fall. So you can pull out all the fall sweaters and boots and all that. All the fall fashion will be good for this weekend because it's going to be cool out there. Satellite radar image right now shows you dry weather, shows you the clear conditions. You'll see sun for the remainder of the afternoon, and your evening will be just fine. Now the cold front is up to our north and our west. You can see a line of some spotty showers right here and a line of some clouds. It's a weak cold front. It is enough though to change the wind and change our temperatures. Overnight, you'll start to see some clouds rolling through the area. Again, your Friday evening plans are just fine. Early tomorrow morning, around sunrise, we're talking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. There was some clouds. There's a few spotty showers around, especially out over the Cape. By 9 or 10 o'clock, we're into full sunshine. So any cloud coverage, any sprinkle activity is very early in the morning. Most of the day tomorrow looks sunny. Just a lot cooler with those highs in the 50s. Overnight into early Sunday morning, it stays clear. It'll be a very chilly night for Sunday morning. Sunday looks mostly sunny. Highs still staying cool, only around 70 degrees. So again, enjoy the 70s we have today. I don't have 70s on the rest of the 7-day forecast, so it's one of our final very warm days. Obviously, anything can happen through the month of October, but right now, 70s today is our last 70s day, at least in the 7-day forecast. We're looking at temperatures as we head through tonight, dipping down into the 40s with increasing clouds. And then tomorrow, again, we're talking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, early to start the day. Some clouds out there and a few sprinkles, especially farthest south and east. Temperatures tomorrow only in the upper 50s, and by tomorrow night into Sunday morning, many of us down into the low 40s, but there will be spots that are in the 30s on Sunday morning. From there, you see sunshine. It'll be a bit breezy. Highs in the low 60s on Sunday, so still cool. We make it into the mid to even upper 60s over the course of next week, which is a bit more seasonable. That average high right now is 67 degrees, so it looks like a nice long stretch of sunshine. Again, just on the cool side of things this weekend.
Yeah, but at least the sun.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. Those were the temperatures we had earlier this week.
Right.
And it was just so miserable and raw outside. So to have the sunshine will make a huge difference.
It really does. All right, Chelsea, thank you so much. Well, the Federal Hill Commerce Association releasing details for the 30th annual Columbus Day Festival. It starts today, runs through Monday the 10th. It'll take place on Federal Hill from Dean to Sutton Streets. This year, 20 restaurants on the Hill will be expanding their outdoor dining for the weekend. There'll also be games, amusement rides, and 4 stages of entertainment. Another Columbus Day tradition, the Situate Arts Festival, now in its 56th year. The Village Green will be packed with people checking out the wide variety of unique arts and crafts. If you can make it, bring your appetite. You can even indulge in some good old country cooking. The festival opens at 10 tomorrow. It runs through Monday. Still to come here on the news at noon, some big news about breast cancer today. Deaths from the disease are falling. We'll take a look at the numbers. ABC6 News covering your health. And a group of state leaders gathered in Providence to discuss the latest advances in cancer research this morning. The American Cancer Society's Action Network says those recent advancements include personalized medicine and biomarker testing. And the event comes amid good news in the fight against breast cancer nationally. Researchers say fatal breast cancer cases decreased by 43% from 1989 through 2020, despite the number of cases going up slightly.
It's absolutely imperative that we invest in research, and we've been increasing the National Institute of Health resources year after year. We hope we can put another $1 billion into research at NIH. And it's very important, too, that we have the local connection. Advocates like those who are here this morning are critical to getting it done.
The American Cancer Society's new research also found Black women have a lower chance of getting breast cancer, but their death rate is 40% higher, something officials are hoping to solve. Still to come here on the news at noon, a serious case of nostalgia. Boo buckets are coming back to McDonald's. And Chelsea has another look at your afternoon forecast. Stay with us. Well, finally this afternoon, McDonald's is going retro, bringing back the Boo Buckets. This trio of Halloween Happy Meal pails will return to restaurants later this month. McDonald's first introduced the pail set featuring McBoo, McPumpkin, and McGoblin back in 1986. You can get one starting October 18th through Halloween. Fun fact, they were all orange when they started and had different faces, and then eventually they shifted to have the different colors. Yes.
That's a fun fact.
I remember my mom saving them for my older siblings, and then those were my buckets as I got older.
Smart.
I'm the youngest of 6
Right.
kids.
Lots
and
of
so
hand-
that's what
lots
we
of hand-me-downs.
We recycled a lot.
Yeah.
We were the originals.
I can imagine.
Of that, yeah.
I can imagine that would be the case. No, that's exciting.
Yeah, they
I
were
remember
really
those.
fun. Now
They
I want to
were.
go get some
Yeah,
for my
for sure.
kids. Yeah.
What's the date? Did you say?
October 18th. Okay. Yeah.
Mark it
So there you
down.
go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was zoned out.
It's
We
okay.
are looking at really warm conditions today. Temps are in the mid to upper 70s, even with sunshine. Overnight, a cold front comes through. You'll get some clouds and a few spot showers. I am talking so early in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock. There's some clouds coming through. We have full sunshine for most of the day tomorrow. It's just much cooler. Highs in the upper 50s. Chilly Sunday morning. Sunday looks sunny and nice, and Monday for the long weekend looks sunny and still a little bit cool.
Wow, quite a forecast there. All right, Chelsea, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day.
put you on? Oh, can you flip the weather camera over to Matt so you can see the prompter? Matt, he says it's out there. He doesn't have access to it. It's in the studio.
The camera.
The camera.
Moving through. Excuse me.
Like camera, I don't know. What number is that? 3? Yep, there we go. You need to put me back up to the top, Matt. That's my tag. Oh, wait, no. That is. All right, well, I'm going to take out the also. All right, am I good to go whenever? Let me just fix my shirt. 3, 2, Senator Jack Reed downplaying. Let me restart. Oh, shit. All right, I can get Senator Jack Reed. He says do it in here, but I'll get it one rip. 3, 2, oh, hold on, Matt. Come on now. Hold on, serious story. We can't be laughing. 3, 2, Senator Jack Reed downplaying concerns about a potential nuclear response by Russian President Vladimir Putin, telling me that at this point, despite comments made by President Joe Biden, there are no signs that Putin is contemplating any sort of